welcome. It's been a long time since we've done an episode of House Call, but for this week, it's going to be really, really exciting because we are interviewing or paying a virtual house call to one of the biggest bad boys in the gaming industry here in Southeast Asia, none other than Hasnul and Bazil from PlayStation Studios Malaysia. Can we have a round of applause? Hasnul sounds so excited, but I haven't heard Bazil's voice yet.
Buzz, are you joining us, Buzz? Come on, join us, Buzz.
Hey.
Do you call him like Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story?
Yes, Buzz Lightyear without the Lightyear.
All right, good enough. Okay, so I heard that PlayStation is hiring, and as someone in the gaming industry, of course, I do have a lot of interest about that. But before we jump into that, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Let's start with Buzz because I feel like Hasnul gets a lot of the limelight. Sorry, Hasnul, you gotta share sometimes. Let's start with Bazil and like your name and what you do and what your role is in the studio.
Hey, my name is Buzz. Without the Lightyear, I cannot fly just yet. The day I'll fly, I'll call myself Buzz Lightyear. I'm the outreach and training manager for PlayStation Studios Malaysia. So working alongside with Hasnul and the team to kind of like grow the talent pool and kind of like grow the game industry in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Hasnul?
There's not much to talk about me. I'm just the guy who is making sure that this studio runs very well. As long as it doesn't crash, burn. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm really grateful that I'm actually given the opportunity to head the first PlayStation Studios in Southeast Asia, the PlayStation Studios Malaysia. So since October 2020, and I think we really hit the ground in January 2021. That's just like 11 months ago. So now, we had our HR manager come in, our senior sysadmin, and until today, we've gone really quickly. We have a core team now, head of animation, head of production, head of art, head of technology, all joining us already and really building the studio here. And as you said, we're really in the process of hiring. Just hiring as many good people as we can.
Wow.
And it's something that's is sort of our passion to push right now.
It sounds like you guys are like building your own PlayStation army, which I'm not surprised because you guys are big names. So big names does come with an army. So it's been like, as you said, 11 months almost. Like I think you said October 2020. So now it's December actually. Oh my God.
So October is me. Like I joined in October, so it's already 1 year for me.
Yeah, 1 year for you.
Really on the ground, when I hit the ground running is when January 2021.
January. Okay, so around 11 months, like for real, you guys started opening. So almost a year. So far, what have you guys accomplished in that 11 months?
A lot. And I think, doing it in sort of in this COVID pandemic I would say it's the craziest thing that you would ever want to do. Like start up a studio during COVID pandemic. We're still working from home since sort of January this year. We have over, I can't tell you the exact numbers, but we have over, so I have the number above that. So over 30 people in the organization now, and it's actually more than that. So I'll give you the exact number, but just imagine we have all these people, all these team members who have joined us over this pandemic, and sort of now into production. So we had to have our people sent computers to their homes. I had to get my IT guys to put all the pipeline stuff together. And it's just been crazy. We're in production now, and I think that's a great achievement. We're part of making a great game in PlayStation Studios, and we're also like at the moment like Buzz, which you've talked to. He's heavily involved in working with some of the universities and colleges to really look at not just the talent pool coming into PlayStation Studios Malaysia, but also how do we make sure that they have the right tools, the right sort of attitude and knowledge to to be able to work anywhere within the game industry. And we're doing this slowly. Although Buzz is trying hard, we have partners like the One Academy, and then we're working with Dasein, Classroom, UOW, KDU, UITM, all these people to make sure that we can help sort of elevate the talent pool to be great for the ecosystem, not just for PlayStation Studios. And as there's great studios out there, the Larian, Bandai Namco, and local studios like Lemon Sky, Passion Republic, and Glow Productions, and all these different studios. And we're all looking for the same talent pool, doing the same great games. So we need to work together to sort of elevate that. So that is one area. And last but not least is really, really elevating also Malaysia's name globally. So some of the things that I do on a daily basis, like talk to different parts of PlayStation, just to say, hey, you know what, this is what Malaysia is about. This is what our team is ready for. Can I also learn from you what you guys are doing? So, I tell people we're like the startup studio, like startup company in a large with a large mother taking care of us, which is PlayStation and SIE, right? So we're in a way we're also nimble enough to make some of the build our own culture, and I think that's going to be really, really important going forward.
Okay, so I love hearing that you guys seem to have accomplished so much in just such a short amount of time, especially building your workforce. So Bazil, speaking of that, I heard that just now Hasnul said that you guys were scouting out talent in universities as well as colleges. How's the process like, and what's the talent pool like so far?
Yeah, definitely. We are very excited to kind of work with the local colleges and universities. In terms of talent pool, we're looking specifically mostly on art and animation. So what we do is that we identified some of the colleges that we work very closely with, and what they do typically, they will share with us if there are students having a final year showcase or graduation showcase, and we'll attend those with other industry panel, and then we just sit down and then talk to the students and kind of like understand what they aspire to be and where they want to go. And if we find candidates that have the kind of the right attitude and also skill sets that fits the studio need, we kind of approach them and kind of probably discuss with them in terms of opportunity, in terms of internship, or maybe joining us as a junior hire.
Okay, so speaking of that though, I was reading online before from some tweets from developers who are saying that over in the West, the animators are kind of like very, very saturated. There's too many to the point that it's hard to hire everyone. But right now, from what you're saying, you guys are looking more for animators here in Malaysia. Are there not enough animators by any chance, or it's just unfound talent?
I would say there's a lot of talent, but there's a lot of demand as well. And I think that's where and also in terms of skill gap, there are certain type of skill sets, like let's say motion capture is something that we're looking at for the work that we do, and that's something that is not commonly found. There are some talents in Malaysia who has experience with motion capture, but it's not as many as we hope it to be, which is why we are working closely with our partners to like grow that further.
All right, Hasnul, you had something to add to that?
No, you're right. I think in more sort of mature game development ecosystems, finding talent is a key problem. It's the same here too, right? But it's also a balance of not just the talent that is available, but also what is the talent that's coming into the industry. Do they have the right skills? Do they have the right knowledge, right? So it's a bit different here, and that's why we've invested having someone like Buzz on board. Like, I'm not sure many organizations do have it, but we said, okay, you know what, we need someone like Buzz to be able to go out and work with the local institutions, and not just in Malaysia, and hopefully later on even regionally, because this is a regional studio that we were actually elevating everyone across the ecosystem within the region itself.
Okay, so right now, this is a question I've always wanted to ask you guys. I mean, you guys did say why you chose Malaysia as, a place where you guys wanted to open up Sony's PlayStation Studios. But the question now is, 11 months later, was it the right move? Do you guys think like it gave so much value that you guys opened it up here? Was it the outcome that you wanted, Hasnul?
Hell yeah. Of course. We're very proud that it's not just us. I think across PlayStation Studios, they're proud that they've chosen Malaysia as a place to start within the region itself. I mean, as it is, our guys being in production and now really they're looking at the work that's being done, and we've got really positive comments from our partners. So I think this just solidifies the decision even more. But more importantly, I think as an organization, PlayStation is a global organization, and more and more. And which I can talk to later when you talk about work culture, is that really we see ourselves as an organization that thrives on being different,
Right.
and being more diverse, so that we can relate to more people around the world.
Okay, totally understandable, because from what it sounds like, your work culture does sound, from what your tweets and what you talk about, it does sound very different than your average job here in Malaysia. So let's talk a little bit about your environment in the studio, because I personally have not been to the studio yet. Hint, hint, bring me for a tour soon. So how big is the studio? What's the work culture like? And are you guys all from home still? Are you guys rotating? Like, how's it like?
Yeah. So on this, when we started and until today, we're all still working from home. We do have a temporary office space in Commune in Bangsar South. That's where usually the IT team would actually be able to put together the computers that are required, and we'll ship them off to the sort of our employees, team members who get on board. So we onboard them with the hardware, we onboard them with the software, and also the required sort of setup for the pipeline. And it's still very much work from home. We are in the process, and things are getting better. I'm sure we know this right now. It's happening in Malaysia. Things are getting better. People are getting vaccinated. I think it's now 96.8% of all adults who are already fully vaccinated, which is great to hear. And hopefully the whole of the country gets vaccinated. But this gives us a bit more comfort in making that decision to actually build a permanent space. So we have identified a location.
Ooh.
We are in the process of doing the I would say the interior design and the design of the office space, making it as cool as possible.
Is it gonna look like a PlayStation 5 shape?
You'll have to wait for that, Natasha. So that's and when it's ready, you'll probably be one of the first people we invite into
Yes.
there, because we need you guys to tell the story and it's really important, right? Because I think going back to work culture and what we're trying to build, and it's not just the physical, right? It's also the mental. It's also the culture of how we work together as a group. I think one of the things that happened in July is that we were known as Worldwide Studios under the PlayStation brand. The SIE is Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, and essentially that is the organization of PlayStation that builds the content, right? All the game studios come under Worldwide Studios. Studios like Santa Monica Studios, Naughty Dog, Polyphony Digital, among the others. Like there's so many of the others, right? But we recently transitioned and transformed ourselves into PlayStation Studios. So that's why our name now is PlayStation Studios Malaysia. And I think with that came sort of a purpose or sort of a value scale that we have, and something that we want to aspire to. Again, we're nimble, so we're probably the easiest to get into that culture. We really truly believe in the purpose, and that purpose is to advance gaming and the positive impact it has on people's lives. So you can see that it's really important for us. Yeah, it's entertainment, but really it has to have some positive impact to people's lives. And from there, as an organization, there are 4 core values that we aspire to. And I think this is really important for sort of not just myself, but also all the team members that are growing into this PlayStation Studios Malaysia to be a part, and also to sort of believe, and also tell people about it, and for them to embody it, right? And number 1 is to be better together. So that's our first one, better together. So we know that, making games, you can't do it alone. I mean, there are indie studios that make things alone, but reality is it is team effort and you have to collaborate to do that. So better together is one of them. Second is fiercely daring. So we have to be bold. We have to be always out there trying to push the bar, because if we're not daring enough, then people are not going to care for what we do, right? So that's the other second part of it. Third part of it is we're proudly different. And remember, I told you about this thing that we really have to strive for, because this is Malaysia, for example, right? I mean, for a fact, right? We are diverse. We talk about it, but do we espouse, do we work on it? So diversity, equity, inclusion is very important for myself and my core members and the whole of the organization. I think we want to celebrate our differences, because with those perspectives and sort of lenses that we come in, then we can create sort of an environment that becomes more inclusive and be able to sort of create stories that people will relate to. And I think you've seen that a lot in the PlayStation games that we create. And last but not least is always striving. And we always want to strive to be the best. I mean, we know that there's so many good companies out there, so many good games out there. So we have to strive hard. Like, we cannot rest on our laurels and expect that we're going to be the best all the time. So we are always striving. So better together, fiercely daring, proudly different, and always striving. And these are the values that we want to espouse to. And hopefully those who come and join us can be sort of our ambassadors of that.
All right. So that was very, very inspiring. I love hearing that. And when you mentioned
I get goosebumps when I talk about that too, because when I first heard it was like, oh, this is shit. Oh, sorry. Pardon my language, but this is it, right? This is why I joined PlayStation.
Yeah, I love hearing that. And especially because you guys did open here. I feel like Sony PlayStation is one of those companies that really do really well in terms of storytelling. And I feel like opening up a studio here in Southeast Asia will bring so many new kind of stories and cultures into the game. And that's exactly, I think, what a lot of people want to see as well. So moving on, right now, I'm just really curious. You mentioned that you had around 30 employees. So by the end,
trick answer. So like, it could be more than that, it could be less than that. So I'll give you the exact number.
Okay. So, in your mind, the ideal number of employees, or how large the scale of you want the company to be, how many employees do you think you want under your belt?
So Buzz, can you answer that question, Buzz? How many do you want to be? How many can you get from me?
We are excited to kind of grow to 150 in a few years' time. So that's the scale that we're talking about at the moment. Of course, as the business change and evolve, we'll update those accordingly. Yeah.
So is there a particular reason why 150?
Really, the most important thing is that we want to be lean, mean, and a game making machine, right? Game support machine, right? So I think it's really important for people to understand that we want to make sure that this is like a commando unit or a SWAT team, right? It's not just for everyone, right? People are going to come in, they might not feel that they can strive in this environment, and they might go out, but we want to make sure that the people that we have are always pushing the bar and always trying to create the best content that they can. So 150 is nice enough number to build around, right? There's a rule, not really rule, a very loose rule saying that once anything goes above 200, then you don't have that family feeling anymore, right? You don't know their names anymore, right? So I think that's something that we want to do, is like, if we really want to build a studio that loves each other and supports each other and knows each other, I think 150 would be a nice sort of number to work from.
Okay, understandable. I love the idea as well, the feeling of being tight-knit and knowing everyone in the studio. And I think that actually really helps in terms of workflow as well. So speaking of that as well, when you talk about 150 employees, what kind of employees are you looking for? Do they have to have a certain mental strength? Do they have to have a certain criteria that you guys are looking for, other than just, the required skills?
That's when we start with passion. That's something that we start with. In our interviews, we talk to the team, the candidates and all that, and we try to suss out and understand their passion. What's the motivation of the role that they're applying for? but passion drives you to be good at what you do. So we're looking at discipline, creativity and imagination, and communication skills are very important because we work in a team to build games, and that's something that we truly cherish and evaluate. Besides the specific skill sets being animation, art, 3D modeling, rigging, all those are technical skills, but we're looking a lot on soft skills as well.
Yeah, and yeah, so soft skills would be, I think at the end of the day, a lot of what me and Buzz and the rest of the sort of managers are looking for is that when you talk about something, you know what you're talking about, right? Even if you can't, like maybe your English is not bad, or your communicate as in whatever language that you feel comfortable with, but communicate as much as possible your knowledge about it. Usually, what we have is that people will just skirt around that knowledge, like, oh yeah, I know how to animate, and like, oh, I know a bit of Maya, but when we start going deeper into like what they know, they can't really answer. So we want you to like, if you're really like passionate about the area, really know about it very well. We won't punish you if you can't communicate that well, but we would love people who can communicate well. That's important because a lot of collaboration is about communication, and also being confident if possible, right? I know it's sometimes hard to find artists being comfortable to be confident, but this is also important, especially when you're in a global environment, right? You're going to be working with people in the United States or Europe, or you're going to be working with people in Japan, or like it could be Indonesia, whatever it is. So you need to be confident enough to be, stand your ground if it needs to be, or be able to show that you know your things. So there's things that we're looking out for. And really, I think the last thing, Buzz, if you correct me if I'm wrong, end of the day, it's really about like if you're really a kind person also. So if you can show us that you're a kind person, I think that will push a lot for yourself in the organization. We want to be as kind as possible as we can.
Love to hear that. Okay, so now the most important question is, what job opportunities do you guys have right now that you guys are currently looking for?
So basically, we have 4 major departments. We have art, animation, production, and tech art and engineering. So these are the 4 different departments. Within each of those departments, there are a lot of different roles opening that we have posted on our LinkedIn post. Among others, asset artists, character artists, FX artists, lighting artists, animator for in-game and cinematic, project manager, technical artists, and also software engineers. So those are some of the roles that we can quickly name, but there's a lot more beyond that. So check out the latest update on our LinkedIn page.
All right. So next one, I have a question for you guys. So how can they apply to you guys?
Yeah. So if you Google PlayStation Studios, not Google, but if you search on LinkedIn, PlayStation Studios Malaysia, it will show all the jobs in PlayStation Studios Malaysia that are looking for people. So they can do that right now.
All right. So everything's on LinkedIn.
Yeah, on LinkedIn right now. We hope that we will have a presence online maybe sometime early next year. We're working on that right now. But other than that, you can either follow me also on Twitter, and I mean you hear some random stuff sometimes from me, but most of the time I'll update about the studio and if we're looking for people who are joining us. So it's at Mr. Hasnul. So if you look on Twitter, that's where you can probably get updates from me for now until we get our own Twitter handle.
Yeah, follow Hasnul. Get the updates there before the new Twitter handle comes out. So my last question for you guys before we move on. Okay, so 2021 is coming to an end. Allow me to pick your brains to kind of like figure out or get an idea what you guys have planned for 2022.
Definitely more awesomeness and great work from the team. That's what we're excited about.
Oh, he giving me the hard one. What we're looking forward to in 2022 is, other than the awesomeness, is that We're going to have an awesome office, as said Natasha. I'm going to make sure that you get invited to that office and check out that studio. We're going to be very proud of that studio. We've been working hard to make sure that it is something that we're all going to be very proud of. Hopefully by first half of next year, we'll get it ready and then be able to show everyone where we're going to be working. And it's going to be a place where the culture that we talk about and aspire to will be sort of physically embodied.
All right. Thank you guys so much for the awesome interview. And for you guys at home who want to apply, don't forget, check out LinkedIn, follow Hasnul on Twitter before they get the new Twitter handle. And don't forget, guys, they're going to have a brand new studio. So, who knows, you might be the new guy who gets the brand new desk. And I am absolutely jealous of you guys. Hasnul, before we go, is there anything you want to say?
Nothing much, but thank you very much, everyone, for listening to us. Again, we may be PlayStation Studios, but we're still the new kid on the block. And anything else, any suggestions that you might have for us or anything that you want to ask from us, please let us know, and then we'll try our best to help out and be part of.
All right. Bazil, do you have anything else to add?
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, that's all right. That's all from us. We'll see you guys in the next house call. Sayonara, my friends.